Yeah.
You kind of beat
I had gammon. Cabbie, I had gammon today. Gammon, Yorkshire puddings, and mashed potato. That's what I had
Oh, you've
today.
got to have Yorkshire puddings, haven't you?
Yeah.
I remember in Sunderland General Havelock Road on Sunday, all you could smell was just roasts, and you used to get into people, your neighbours' houses, asking to borrow some some gravy and all that. Man, it was quality.
Yeah.
Right, we're just about to go live. 3, 2, 1. Oh, just checking everything's okay. Hi, how are you doing? It's the MACKEM CABBIE Monday night show with we've got Yorkshire MACKEM here. How are you doing, mate?
I'm very well, thank you. Good afternoon to Cabbie, Davey, and everyone else.
Yeah, and we've got Davey, who we all know. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing
No.
champion, son. I've done my shift. I've done my shift tonight on Radio Newcastle. I don't know if you watched us or heard us.
I'll have a good listen. What I like to do
Oh,
is
aye. On BBC Sounds, do you watch it? Listen to it.
I listen to it at work. What I do is I listen to the last night's show at work the next day. Because
Aye.
if the radio gets boring, I'll whap it on and I'll listen to it at work.
You'll enjoy it. It's a
Um,
corker.
oh, brilliant! I cannot wait, mate. Oh, we've got people in the chat already. Hello Viper says FTM. Andy Hunter FTM. Billy JW says how. So right then. So what did you guys think of the Sheffield Wednesday game then?
Dire. I was there.
Yeah, Jacob was there. That's right, you were, mate, weren't you?
Yeah. Just didn't look like we'd get anything from it. The players were on the beach, and I think it's an unacceptable mindset in modern day football. I think that's just how footballers are. From August to May, play for the frigging badge, even if you've got no to play for. It's just
Dead right.
absolutely disgraceful.
Well, you'll hear us on Radio Newcastle tonight, Covey. And it's exactly what I said. All fans ask for is that them players that wear them shirts go on that pitch and give their all every minute they're on it. That's all we ask. We can't determine the result of games or where we'll end up, but what we can demand is effort every game. And we haven't had that this season, and it's disgusting.
And that doesn't show any thought of the fans that's paid the money. I mean, how many times do we keep saying this? Like, I mean, to not being nasty or disrespectful to Sheffield Wednesday, but to hell with Sheffield Wednesday and what their problems are, or to hell with any other team that comes to the stadium. Like, at the end of the day, we are Sunderland. All we should be bothered about is getting our 3 points ourselves. And all you keep hearing is like, Sheffield Wednesday need the points more than us. Well, why? You know what I mean? So does that mean that we're just going to say, well, there we go then? Because that's what it looked like, didn't it? It's just pathetic. I don't care if it's the end of the season, the last game, or anything like that. As you've said, Davey, it's you should be wanting to win every single game. It doesn't matter what the opposition's position is. You playing for the red and white shirt in front of all them Sunderland fans, and your goal is to win.
You're privileged, man. You should feel privileged to play. All them 40,000 fans there would all swap places with them players every day of the week.
Oh God, unbelievable. You at the game, Davey? Yeah.
I mean, I didn't like to pull individuals out, but I must say, I would have had that Ekwar off after 10 minutes. He was absolutely deplorable.
His head's just not been in it, has it, at all?
Just strolling around the park. He's laughing all the time. He'll not put a tackle in. He'll not play the ball forward. It's embarrassing.
Is that what you thought? Did you notice similar stuff, Jacob, lad?
They just seemed like relaxed. It didn't seem like they were just wandering about. It was just like, and the shots were dreadful. Some of the shots were absolutely dreadful. You know.
The shoot.
And really, Sheffield Wednesday. Oh, you could hear what Sheffield Wednesday fans singing. There was sometimes where we sang as well, but we've got to stop this. I want to see more noise at the stadium. Because it's just dead. I think we're still suffering from the effects of League One. It just the atmosphere, it needs to improve. Really does.
Yeah, I'm saying, Jacob, when you look round the crowd, people are just sitting there in a daze, in a dream. There's nobody angry. There's nobody happy. It's as if you're there, but you're not there.
So it doesn't seem like what it used to be when we were in the Premier League, but of course,
No.
things have gone, and you can understand that because of how things have gone wrong. We've been relegated in 2016-17 from the Prem, with the next relegation in the Championship, and then dreadful seasons in League One. So there's a bit of that, but we're on the high now. We're on a bit of a better than what we were a few years ago. But it's, I don't know. It's just things have got to improve definitely next season.
Yeah. I mean, the season we went down from the Championship to the First Division.
Yeah.
With them 3 goalkeepers. The 3 goalkeepers that were a laughing stock of the league.
Oh, it was Steele, Camp, and Reuter.
Yeah. Well, our record since Christmas was worse than our record then. So what does that tell you?
Yeah, and I've read some on the Sunderland deck. Well, it was from the Sunderland Echo, but it was posted by a fan account called Wise Men CFC.
Yeah.
And it said it's pretty much hinted that we're not going to sell many players, which I guess is good. But also we're not going to overspend. So apparently Dodds might be staying, not as what he's done now, but just in the background. So, but that could all just be rumours, couldn't it? It could just be playground.
That's worrying. I think it needs a big clean out, big clear out. There's too much dead wood there now.
Yeah, I say get Will Still in and get some of the crew from Reims. Get a lot of them to come.
Well, his brother's his assistant,
Yeah, and he's quite a motor. He's one of them managers. If you're not doing as you're told, he'll let you know.
Right. Well, that's what some of them players need. I.e. Ekwa.
Well, footballers in general, not just I think just footballers in modern day football, they don't give a toss. No. It's all about the cosh at the end of the day in their minds.
Yeah.
Of course, it hasn't just been the the Sheffield Wednesday game, has there? It's basically been like this since Mowbray got the boot. And it's I've never been so bored and I'm not going to say uninterested, but lack of excitement and thrill of watching a game at the stadium like that I have been this season, and we've had some bad games, but it's just like it's going through the motions, and you can just tell. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as you said, the stadium is like you can hear a pin drop. We're predictable. It's I don't know. It's just gone on and on and on. And Billy G on the chat has just said 22 defeats overall. I mean, that's shocking. I mean, we're going on about Mowbray, but if we hadn't got that 6 points when Michael Beale was a short coach, I mean, who knows where we'd be now?
Yeah, if they'd sacked Mowbray a couple of weeks before they did, would probably be down now.
I mean,
and if it wasn't for West Brom, we would be down.
I mean, we have got quality players in that squad. We proved, like when Mowbray was here, okay? So would you say it's basically the damage was done when Mowbray got sacked, the players just lost interest?
Yeah. It knocked back the confidence. It might have knocked them back, I think, because Mowbray was quite a good figure to the players, wasn't he? And then they got Michael Beale. Michael Beale is like a Cockney car salesman. Is there any motivation in him?
Mowbray was a motivator, and the players loved playing for him, and he gave them freedom to play. He just wanted them to attack. He says, I'm not bothered if you lost the ball, just keep doing it the next time and the next time.
And he won't
this fella they've got now, Dodds, he's terrified to attack.
Oh, petrified. It's annoying though, isn't it? Of the fact, like, I mean, it's not just for Sunderland. I mean, how many times do you see? All it takes is something to happen behind the scenes, either management. I mean, look at that time with Chelsea, for example, when Mourinho had that fallout and he sacked that female doctor. I think Chelsea went about second off bottom. It doesn't matter about the talent on the squad that you've got. It's all about the whole happy vibe in the club. You've got to have that balance, because if you didn't, I mean, the football players, they're so easily tipped, aren't they? Of like spitting the dummies out. It's like, oh, I'm not happy with that. I'm not gonna bother playing. It's such a fine balancing act, and talk about tipping the scales. We did it massively bad, didn't we? I mean, Bale coming in. Imagine how the players felt when Bale came in, and then Bale got the sack, and then Dodds is in and stuff like that. I mean, the players must have just thought, well, why do I bother?
Oh, yeah, I mean, leadership comes from the top, Cabby. You know what I mean? You lead from the top. If it's not happening at the top, it just filters down.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we'll go down next season, but I just think we need a bit of a reboot, don't you think? A bit of a reboot in the club. So
a massive reboot. It's rotten at the minute. That club rotten.
Nah.
Wouldn't you think you'd have had a statement of the club?
Just talk amongst yourselves, guys. I'm just going to see my daughter. 2 seconds. Just talk amongst you. I'll be back in 2 ticks.
Yeah. But nah. The 2 goals. The 2 goals for Wednesday. What were we doing? Yeah, no, actually, no. You go first.
Wouldn't you think we would have had a statement of the club, though? Just even to say, sorry for this season, but we're going to make efforts in the summer to make things better. Stick with us and all that. But you've heard nothing.
Not a lot, no. But I'm hoping in the next days or so we can hear some. They might be having a little break and then say, right, I know this season's not been what we wanted, but I think we can move on to next season and etc. Because it's not been a good season, the second half especially.
Yeah.
It's just weird. Michael Beale, yes, he did well for QPR in the Championship, but he's not a good fit for us. He's better off in League One or League Two, something like that.
Yeah. That was a bad move. I mean, whoever thought of that one? God of me.
No, well, I just want Will Still now. I know people say, oh, he's not had any experience in the Championship or England, but I think it's time for someone who's a bit unknown, up and coming, young. Well, we've not had that before. Before.
It worked for Ipswich this season.
Yeah, Sheffield Wednesday.
I've never heard of Kieran McKenna. Never heard of him.
No, and he may have known the English system, but he's not done first management before Ipswich. So
no,
why can't it work for someone like Sunderland? Yeah, why can't it work for Sunderland? It's worked for Wednesday. It's worked for Ipswich. 2 big clubs, not as big as Sunderland, but still 2 good clubs. So I don't see why a club like Sunderland can't go down that route either.
Well, no.
But I think I'm grateful that we're not in League One, and I don't think we'll ever go down there again. Oh. But I think it's just a bit of a bumpy road this season, isn't it? I think we just need to move on now.
Yeah. I mean, our form in the last 15 weeks has been like relegation form.
Been dire.
If we'd had 20 weeks of that, we'd be relegated now.
Sorry guys, just back. Sorting.
It's awful.
Bad-tempered little girl here. Just sorted. We've got quite a few people coming into the chat. Billy G says, I think he's talking about Will Still here. He's bilingual French English. It would be dead handy with our squad.
Yeah, you should see it on YouTube. There's a video of him. Yeah. He's talking French, and then he goes English. And when he's talking English, he's swearing a bit, like a Peter Reid or something like that. He's like, the vibes I get from him, he's like, he doesn't take no crap. And I think he'd give a kick up the arse to some of them players, which is what we need. Right. And I think what we need in football in general, because footballers now, they're just, they walk all over the manager now. The managers let them walk all over them. It's not good enough.
Well, if he speaks French, he might get through that war.
Yeah.
Oh my
Abdullah
God, I know.
as well.
Yeah, Billy G says Uncle Figure. Uncle was Tony, Uncle Figure, he was, especially with the kids. SJ says, can't believe that Dodds was worse than Beale. I mean, are you surprised by that? Because let's face it, he's just an interim chap, and I think he was on a hide or nothing, Dodds, wasn't he?
Well, he did well in his first run, didn't he? Beating West Brom and Leeds, but then he goes on that horrible run. You know, I just don't get it.
Yeah, I don't think the players had any respect for him because he's just one of them, isn't he? He's just like one of the lads. It was never
like
going to work. Not over that many games anyway. 2 or 3 games, aye. But they should have gotten somebody in for the last dozen games.
Yeah, just like a mate at the pub, isn't he?
Dunn's in the chat. Dunn's 1996. How you doing, mate? He says the players all love playing for Tony. I met Dan Neil not long after Mowbray came in. Saw him at Hebburn last year, and you could tell the players all loved playing for him. I mean, look, he did go through a bit of a slump, Tony Mowbray, didn't he? I mean, it wasn't all pretty. There was some games, but I mean, you'll have the best managers in the world, and I've seen City play on the telly, and there's sometimes they've, on a rare occasion, mind, but there's times where they've been awful. You know what I mean? They've just not been themselves.
I know, but Cabby, there was a reason for that slump that he had, because he'd sussed out that them forwards that getting in were no good. And he was saying to them, these are no good, I need some new forwards, so they booted them out. Because he questioned their integrity. I
remember you going on Radio Newcastle quite a while ago talking about something similar to that, like the fact, I think you mentioned something about Mowbray didn't get sacked because of the results were maybe starting to dip a little bit. It was because he was sussing things out, and he didn't like the way things were run, and he was beginning to have too much of a say in things, and they didn't like it.
Yeah, that's backfired on them, isn't it?
Backfired massive. Topsy T, who's a regular coming on the chat, how you doing, mate? He says, I don't buy that the squad's brimming with talent. He says, I think Mowbray is a good coach and his methods paper over the cracks in the lack of investment. He managed to overachieve with average young'uns. And that's from Topsy T.
Yeah.
Papering.
A lot of truth in that.
Beale's fake account says, Billy Topsy says again, we are knocked without investing. Jack, hello mate, how are you doing? He says, I thought KLD said an announcement was imminent after our last game about manager situation and when's Dodd's going. But once again, this is terrifying silence, isn't there?
Yeah. Oh, he was in the under-21s match today.
We won, didn't we, against Wolves?
4-1, I played well, I watched it.
Can't remember his name now, the under-21s manager, Graham Summit or something like that.
Murty.
Graham Murty.
Aye, from Rangers he is.
When I saw him at under-21s against Blackburn, you know, he seemed motivated. He seemed one of those managers that don't take any crap, you know.
Yeah, they were tremendous today,
Yeah, same against Blackburn when I saw him, we won 4-0.
There was supposed to have been a right clanger of a goal to give away. Was that right? That's just what I was reading on social media.
It was a mistake, but they played really well in the second half,
Yeah, Watson looks good. I think Watson and Taylor are the best two.
He scored a good goal, and so did the big centre forward, big dark lad. I think he's only 17. He looks like a Hamir, but he's a lot better.
Test, welcome, mate. I love the name. He says, we must do way better and be consistent Premier League team. And I think we're quite aware of that yet. SJ said, Speakman said last season that he wanted better than the playoffs. So regardless what the club comes out with won't matter. Actions speak louder than words. This next coach will show our ambition. Will our next coach show us ambition, or is it going to be totally pointless, lads? If his hands is tied once again, it's not so much the coach; it's the model's got to change surely for this coach to do his business.
You're right, but there's rumours of Speakman going into to Lyon, to France, but we don't know if that's true or not. But
he not can. Like I say, he was at the under-21s match today. He wouldn't have been there if he was leaving.
no. Oh, you never know. That might have been his last match for under-21s before he goes.
Hey, Davey, is it true Patterson was dropped because he was late turning up?
Yeah. Where have you heard that?
I heard the clip of it on BBC Radio Newcastle. They played a 7-second clip on one of the Sunderland pages on Facebook.
I've heard he got a knock.
That was one of my things on the Radio Newcastle the night, because they've never mentioned a thing. So I went on and I said, "Why are you not mentioning why Patterson wasn't playing?" And they were like, what do you mean? What do you mean? I says, well, I know why he wasn't playing. I says, because he got drunk on Thursday night, he didn't get up early Friday morning, and he didn't get the training on time.
They seem petrified, don't they, the pundits, to ask certain things or bring certain things up. I mean,
you know who told me that, Cabbie?
Who's that?
Nick Barnes.
Oh, Barnesy.
Barnesy told us, but he hasn't told them in the studio. He hasn't told them in the studio though.
Well, Barnesy knows what's going on left, right, and centre in that club. I mean, you just didn't know. I mean, do you think they think they can get into trouble? If they certainly if they say certain things, but I mean, surely it should be an open debate. There's no wrong with saying Pato, he got dropped because he literally he turned up late. So
why tell lies? Say he was injured.
Well, I know
why. Everything comes out, doesn't it?
I mean, this has been going on for years. I mean, when I phoned up Radio Newcastle and I was joking on, it was a true story about Marco. I says I tried to get his autograph twice, and he hid my pen on the floor, and we were having a good laugh about it. And he says, Marco says, well, let's not forget. He says, we have to be in by the second, not just a minute. He says, in the changing rooms. He says, we'll get fined. He says that every second we're late, he says the fine gets higher and higher and higher. And he says, and there's no ifs, there's no second buts. He says that was just the rules. He says, if you're late, you get fined. Minute, you get fined more. 2 minutes, you get fined even more. So he says we had to get as many autographs done as possible and get straight into that stadium. He says, people might think we're ignorant. He says, but we had to get cracking. And it's only right, I think, if that's what's happened with Patterson, because no one's bigger than the club, are they?
Oh no.
Billy G says backroom staff needs to change. That all depends if it is Will Steele, whether he fetches his own. Helpful Viper, hello mate, how you doing? He says the players don't give shit about this club, and that's what you guys said beforehand, wasn't it? It's like, do you think they generally just don't give a monkeys? It's just a show.
I don't know. I think with Ekwa, because he's had a dead leg, hasn't he? I think that's had an effect on him, but we don't know, do we? I mean, Ekwa, before he had his injury, he was pretty good, but then after that, he just doesn't seem as good. So I'm wondering, is it his injury that's kind of made him not as good as what he is, or, I'm not too sure.
I think it's a bit attitude, mate. Like, his attitude's hasn't been right for weeks.
I just can't understand why you walk out into that stadium and not want to perform.
Not want to give your all.
Not want to give your all. I mean, fair enough. I know they're not Sunderland fans, but to have 80%, 90% of the stadium cheering you on. I mean, what's the matter with them? I mean, as you said before, it's everybody's dream to do what they do. I mean, I remember when I was playing a five-a-side match and I was only about 9-year-old, and me and the lads just got a side together, just that hang around the corner of the street, and says, "Oh well, we'll get it. We'll just have a kick about, we'll get together. And we joined this tournament. And I remember we drew with the favourites, South Shields. And they were all built like brick shite houses and stuff. And we drew 2-2. And I always remember the roar from this inside like boys club thing. There was only about 150 there. But the roar and the cheer at every kick we did. And I still remember this today now, and I'm nearly 50 years old, how that made me feel as a little one. And it's like me hair stood on my back of the neck, and it was the most incredible feeling. And that's just a little friggin' spot like that. And I just don't understand how they didn't get that running onto the pitch. I just don't understand why they get a buzz just shrugging the shoulders and I can't be bothered with this. Or as you said, Echo had a smile on his face, and I just don't understand what planet they're on.
You know who else is always laughing? Bar.
Demba Bar.
Abdullah Bar.
Abdullah Bar is just laughing all the time.
What the
I mean, he had a shot on Saturday, went out for a throw-in.
Just reading some more of the comments. There's loads. We've got now nearly 50 people watching, so
good.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. A big shout for everybody who tuned in on Saturday. There was 400 and odd at one point. It was there was a hell of a lot of Sheffield Wednesday fans coming in there, but they were all good. And I've said all Sheffield Wednesday fans are all welcome. I says as long as they're not, being idiots. I treat this chat as just like at the stadium, like the way fans can celebrate, they can cheer, and rightly so. They stayed up.
Yeah.
It was good crack with them all. Like, to be fair, they're a good bunch of fans. I'm just scrolling some of the comments here. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, Ian Wilkinson. Hello, mate. How are you doing? It's just that many to come through. Hiya, boys. Club is unprofessional from top to bottom. I'll give an example. He says Dodds criticised players. Wanted a result against Wednesday. We needed 100% commitment. O'Neill walks onto pitch with his kids in his arms.
Yeah.
Well, the players do that, don't they? End of the season, on last game, they'll bring the kids onto the pitch, and
Oh, yeah, after the game.
The club's unprofessional, but like I say, it's got to start from the ivory towers, hasn't it? I mean it's got to start from there, and it's like a chain reaction, isn't it? It spreads right the way through the whole of the club and on the playing field. And as you've said before, they've gambled it with their model, and it's totally backfired. And I cannot believe Sunderland, I think they were at one point of the season 29 points ahead of Sheffield Wednesday. We finished the season 3 points ahead of them. Sorry, ahead of them, and we finished 3 points ahead of them. I mean, really, have we really been that bad? Jesus. That's shocking. That's just shocking.
But when we played them at their ground, that's a different team to what we played on Saturday. Bit of a different team, that. So things have changed since we played them at Hillsborough. So, but still, I think we should really be beating Wednesday, don't you think?
Well, some of the Sheffield Wednesday fans were messages on YouTube today saying, I don't know what happened to you guys. He says because you destroyed us at Hillsborough. He says you could have had 6 or 7 goals. He says Clark would destroyed us. He says you were just like a completely different team on on Saturday. And I'm thinking, well, tell us about it. We can witness it. You know what I mean?
I mean, are you too worried about relegation next season, or do you think possibly by then things will be sorted? Or
what do you think, Davey? Jacob said, are you worried about relegation?
Obviously, it's a massive summer, and the massive things have got to change. But if we went into next season with a team like we've got now, definitely you'd go down. Because we've had relegation form for the last 5 months.
It's not good, is it? Not for a club like us. But do you think Do you think Will still could do it at Sunderland? Do you think he can?
Well, yeah. I think you'd have a chance. I think he would motivate the players. But then again, it doesn't matter what coach you get in, unless they tweak this model and get some experience in, every coach would struggle. And you definitely need a couple of centre forwards.
Yeah.
A few people
I'd
have
like Morgan Whittaker. Get Morgan Whittaker in.
Only club in the league that don't play with centre forwards.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
Don says, hi, Cabby. I'm good, mate. Billy G says, Davey's right about Mowbray, what we were talking about before. Ryan Duggan, hello, mate. How are you doing? And he says, anyone who thinks Mowbray's sacking was undeserved is forgetting that he won 2 in 9, and we were shocking. The decisions that followed were awful, but Mowbray's time was out. So Ryan thinks, you know, it was possibly the right decision to sort of say throughout to Mowbray, but was it the way the fact they did it was wrong?
Well, it's been proved it wasn't the right decision because look the way it's gone downhill since. He could only work with the tools he had, and he told them he needed new tools, and they said, "Oh no, you've got to stick with what you've got." And because he wasn't going to accept it, he's gone, isn't he?
Well, to be fair, we did lose to 3 teams on the bound to get to bottom half teams, didn't we? We were at Plymouth, Huddersfield, and no, we lost to 2, but I think we drew 1, didn't we? We had draw with Millwall, but we lost to Plymouth and Huddersfield, yeah. And that's not good. That we should, them 3 teams we should be beating. Plymouth, Huddersfield, Millwall. It's just so maybe it's because of them 3 on the bounce. You'd think, oh, he's lost to 3 bottom half teams. Is he really the right man? But overall, I did like Matt. I thought Mowbray was great, but it's just that little bad spell he had.
He would have turned it round, man.
Yeah, I think he would have because he had a bad run before last season, didn't he? In March. So, well, can't do what about it now, can we? Can't turn back time.
You can only look forward, Cabby. You can only look forward.
But
things can only get better.
I mean,
I didn't say that. That's a song they played after the game.
Oh, for God's sake! Well, I've got on the poll so far. Excuse me. 41 votes so far, and I said in the poll, how has Sunderland's season been? 5% says brilliant, 2% says good, 17% have said average, and 76% have said pathetic. There we go.
Not wrong.
That sounds about right.
Billy G says good number 9 for Sunderland. Samuel, is it Ogunbayi? Is that how you pronounce it? Is this the guy you were on about when you were watching the under-21s, Davey?
I had to play the dear. He's only a kid, like.
That's all
but he's better than Amir. He's better than Amir.
I'm going to watch the replay of that game at some point.
Why? It's on YouTube. You better watch it.
I was at work.
He scores
today,
a good goal.
Does he?
He smashes one in. I couldn't see him here doing that. He never gets on the end and out.
I'll watch it. I was at work in my taxi today, so I mean, I just work Monday to Friday, so bank holidays mean nothing to me. Like, Ian Wilkinson says Patterson had a fight at awards night allegedly.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
That's what I heard, but I didn't want to say that. I didn't want to say that on the radio, like, but I'd heard that. My grandson knocks around in the same circles as Patterson at Washington. That's where he lives. And he said that he was fighting with one of the players, like they got pissed and were arguing. I wouldn't say a fight, I would say like an argument.
I know.
Well, that's where Pickford's from as well. Jordan Pickford's from Washington as well.
Yeah. That's where Patterson is.
But it's just not a good time, is it, to be a Sunderland fan? But we've been on stuff like this before, haven't we? And sometimes it's gotten better, hasn't it? To be honest.
You know it is like Jacob. Jack, hello mate. How you doing? He's just said there's loads of comments coming in here. I tell you something I know after the Stoke game. Patterson, Neil, Gooch, and I think Ballard was out drunk as a skunk in Newcastle. Someone got a picture of Neil pissed as a fart lying on some steps. But they're only human after all. But yet again, I suppose if they've got duties to do. Jack also says could show you what they are like behind behind the face they put on, and just young lads without real respect and just happy with money doing what they want, maybe. Well, I mean, that answers the questions why they're not interested, is it? I mean, and this is where you need that leadership, though, don't you, on the pitch? It's when you need the leadership in the dressing room. You need that management. You need that strict thing to come out and say, look, lads, you do this and you're not going to get a game this season. Or
we haven't got to hold the head on the team to keep the young ones right. Our older head is Luke 19, and he's dafter than them all put together.
He likes playing volleyball, doesn't he?
Right, man.
I won't get rid of 09 though, because he does still have that.
No, I love him. I love him. I love Lukey. I love him. But he's not somebody you look up to.
I mean, it can sit. If you've got a Labrador, he'll save your Labrador. So
50 people in the chat viewing. Thanks, guys, on this dreary Monday night, wherever it is. Just bear with me, guys. I'm just want to try to leave any comments out if I can. SJ says Neil is injured anyway, so wouldn't have mattered. I think we went about the Neil before. This was after the Stoke game a few months ago. I think they're talking about when they were tipsy on the steps. SJ says Ekwar is playing in the wrong position anyway. He's not a defensive midfielder. Do you agree on that?
Well, I didn't think he was, but the way he's been playing, he doesn't go forward. He doesn't look to go forward. He doesn't pass it forward. He's passing it back all the time.
That's my sorry. It's getting interruptions, notifications on my phone. I've just had 15 messages from Greg's verification code from Greg's. What the hell?
Greg's not sending some pasties in, are they?
Well, I don't know. Verification.
They might have got the wrong number. They might have meant to send it to Steve Bruce.
Billy G says Roberts has gone to pot since his biggest fan left Uncle Tony. What's gone on with Roberts?
What he did against Watford.
He doesn't even look a Sunday League player at the moment, does he?
No, he doesn't.
He can't even stand up, Cabby. He keeps falling down.
It's getting a call from Moscow. Sorry, I don't know what's going on here. Sorry, I'll just put my phone on silent here. Bloody Moscow. Is this what Anthony MACKEM says? I think he keeps getting it all. Just 2 seconds.
Dodgy calls from Russia.
Putin's watching your channel, Cabby.
Maybe Putin's going to get a manager's job.
From Russia, we love.
Anyway, sorry about that. What do you think's gone on with Roberts? We've seen the talent. I mean, what is it with him? Do you think?
Right, obviously he's missing Ahmad, but he was a good player before Ahmad come, so that shouldn't really matter that much.
No. Michael Van Hoff, hello mate, how are you doing? He says, hi lads, great show, thanks very much. He says, do you expect Clark to stay after his last post? If not, what would be a decent club for him to join? I mean, I take it, Michael, you're on about the when he said something along the lines. See you next season.
Over and out.
We'll go again over and out. I mean,
yeah.
So did he actually? I think I misread that, but I do remember the see you over and out. Did he say see you next season?
See you next season.
So that could be something, couldn't it?
That could be like playing for Leeds against us.
Yeah, but he wouldn't. If he were leaving, he wouldn't say see you next season, would he? He'd say, But at the end of the day, lads, it's not his decision, man, is it? Not
it's
really.
The clubs and the agents decide players' future.
Whispering in the ears.
It's not his decision. If somebody offered 25 million, Sunderland would sell him, and now for the fact they would.
I mean, he's also saying which club would be ideal for him to join. I mean,
he won't go to Leeds because I don't think they're going up. I think they'll lose the playoffs.
Yeah, I do. I think they'll. I think they're on Talk Sport before. They were saying for Leeds that they're playing Norwich in the playoffs. Norwich have got the psychological advantage because the fact they're thrilled they've got into the playoffs. Leeds will be shot to bits because they really should have been in the top two. So I do expect Norwich to go up.
Yeah, I think it's Norwich and Southampton in the playoff final.
Go through, should I say? I don't think Clark's a Premier League player, and I've said this on a few other podcasts.
Yeah, I think Clark might get to Lazio.
Lazio.
Well, that's who put the bid in the summer for him.
Yeah.
But he could stay here. I mean, time has tell. It's going to be a soap opera these next few months, isn't it? It's going to people say end of season.
Look, Cabby, you're saying you think he'll stay here. For him to stay here, he would have to sign a new contract.
Mm.
And that's what he's refusing to do. Well, his agent is.
Yeah, they're the viruses.
He's only got 2 years left. So if he stays next season, he goes into his final year, and that's when you would lose him for nothing.
Yeah.
Peter Learcock, hello mate, how you doing? The players aren't in tune because we have no manager. They need a boss, and it's just what we said, wasn't it, about 5 minutes ago? Is the fact that you haven't got anybody that walks into that changing room that's got that aura where the players go like, "Oh, better stand to attention now. He's the gaffer coming in." They ain't got that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like having a soft teacher at school, isn't it? He walks into the classroom and you're mucking about.
Yeah, it's like I said to Marco, we've sacked the manager and we've put the PE teacher in charge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Duns says, I expect Clark to go, but wouldn't be surprised if we make him stay. He's got 3 years left on his contract.
And he does like the club, doesn't he? To be fair, Clarky.
Yeah.
Ryan Dugan says, doesn't help when all of our young raw talent hasn't been coached for months.
No, it's right. Like the coaching's been shocking.
Yeah, there's just. Stephen Hensel says Will still will be no good. That once again, that's something we'll never tell until if he ever does arrive. The results on the pitch will do that. Billy G says we need 2 goal scorers at least. I don't know if he's on about we need experienced strikers, like, but people keep saying a striker, but it isn't. It's strikers we need, isn't it?
We need at least 2.
Even Dodd says we don't need any strikers. Ridiculous.
Oh no! Look, they're fortunate for a good and he'll get injured the first game.
Yeah. What about Meenda? Would you sell Meenda then?
Sell him. Who's going to buy him?
Well, Hibernian. He's on loan. Hibernian might want him.
He doesn't get a game. He doesn't get a game. He's never played a game for them yet.
No, he's just been selling. He's been playing his hairy bagpipes or something. That's all he's been doing.
Right. He's been on the bench every game. I look every week.
How old's Meenda though? Is he 20 at least, or is he 19? Not too sure.
Triandus has been on the bench the last 4 games.
I
think he was being decent when he's been on the pitch, but
been playing in midfield.
Yeah.
Duns says we don't want Whittaker. I live in Lincolnshire and watched him when he was at Lincoln, and he was as shite as he's crap. He says I don't rate him at all. We're not going to get anywhere near Whittaker. I don't think. Tony Huntington, hello pal. Roberts way overrated. Clark is a one-trick pony. Pato can't play without Ekwa. Isn't a defensive midfielder. Job too slow, and they are meant to be our best. Rig is the only one with quality. Do you think they're a bit harsh words there? Saying Clark is like a one-track pony?
Yeah, couldn't play Clarky like.
I mean, that's all it takes, isn't it? If it's a one-track pony, if it hits the back of the net, that's all you need, isn't it? You one chance.
You know what he's got to do? He's got to cut in on his right. But the thing is, that a lot of the times they can't stop him.
No, because he's too quick with his feet.
Aye.
Left, right, left, right, left, right. Have you noticed the left, right with both feet? He's juggling with the ball on the floor, and the players, the defenders didn't know which way they're going, and all he needs is that half an inch in front of them. Bang, gets a shot in.
Aye. Aye.
Yeah, he says Mowbray bought Dak in. We all know that, but he's going to be away. Billy G,
That didn't
Millwall.
work.
It didn't work out. Millwall away. Tony's after-match comments got him sacked, apparently.
That's right. That's correct.
What
He said he needed strikers.
Well, is that really like a bad thing to say? We
No.
all know it's not. Stephen Enzel, as it stands, I've got no hope for next season. Finish rock bottom. Bloody hell, that's harsh, isn't it? Rock bottom.
Stephen always looks on the black side. That's Terry's mate, Stephen.
Is it?
The mad mistakes, mate.
Oh, I don't know if I know.
He's always doom and gloom, Stephen.
Is he?
Aye.
I mean, I watch Mad Mistake quite a lot. I'm trying to think who Stephen is. I know it's not Wincy. I know it's not him.
No, Stephen gets to Wincy's bar though before the game.
Before the game, Wincy's Bar and Grill. It's not the other guy, is it?
You'll have seen Stephen, big guy, baldy, big. You'll have seen him on Terry's page loads of times. Sometimes fills in for him on his podcast.
I'll have to have a look.
I have a look.
SJ 5% Mags, I think, is on about the polls saying a good season. Pixel Rich, hello mate. He says, smashing show, lads. First time I've been on here. Love hearing the leg and Davey on the phone in. Who's you on about the leg? Who's you on about the leg, Davey?
Yeah.
He's on about me.
Losing the leg in the taxi.
Oh, I'm slow. You didn't hear about that, Jacob, did you?
No, what do you mean, leg?
You'll have to tell Jacob now.
I phoned up obviously Radio Newcastle and all that, and now that they know I'm a taxi driver, the presenter says well, I says like someone left a pair of the false teeth, a set of false teeth in the back seat. And Kieran Brady says he says, aren't you supposed to pick up taxi fares and money, not teeth? He says, what did you do with the teeth? I says, the grass needed cut, so I took them home. and then the guy that presents the show, he says, all right, I need to ask you this now, Cabbie. He says, what's the strangest thing someone's left in a taxi? And I says, somebody's false leg, which is a true story. And they couldn't understand. He says, a false leg, and the three of them were all trying to fight into a comment. Like, they're trying to get on to speak first. And like, how on earth did that end up happening to be a false leg in your taxi? And I basically just says, look, a guy was taking his leg back because he's bringing his spare leg back with him. He says because it was chafing at the top and it didn't fit him well. And he says he was running sort of late for an appointment. He goes one way, I drives off the other, and I get the phone call from the hospital basically saying, have a look on your back seat, is there a leg on the back seat? And there was. And I said I was just paranoid in case the leg got out and did a runner without pain. and they were howling, and I'm slow. I love hearing the leg and Davey on the phone in. Is that my nickname now, the leg? For God's sake.
The leg. Aye.
I could tell him a lot more stories in the taxi, but of course, that's before the watershed, you know what I mean? I wouldn't be able to see out. Ian Wilkinson says, Will Still 12th in the league. Eric Roy, ex-Sunderland, 3rd in the same league. Best we should go for him. Yeah, a few people are saying Will Still's form's dropped. I don't know if you've seen that. His form's dropped before leaving Reims.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't leave. I think he left because I think just mutual terms. I don't think it was form, but I think all managers have a blip, don't they? So you can't.
He lost 4-1 his last game, and then apparently they had a discussion and they decided to call it a day.
Mm.
But his heart might be somewhere else.
Yeah.
You don't know. Every player's a price, says Bill. I'm just trying to go through these chats. I don't want to try to ignore anyone as well. Ian says Roberts linked with Ahmad and Hume. Ahmad gone and Hume moved all over the pitch by Dodds, leaving Roberts on his own with nothing to hit in the box. This is where Davies and Jacobs both said that he had talent and he showed that talent before then players arrived at the club. SJ, Ian Hart likes stirring the pot. I noticed that he's been quiet since Clark got injured and his form dropped. Ryan Dugan says players like Barr, so inconsistent, but has showed flashes of talent across the season. A proper coach would have had that sorted by now. Yeah, I remember Barr's game when he played against Ipswich, where he took about 3 or 4 players on the edge of the box and laid off Clark. So he has got it in drips and drabs, hasn't he?
Aye.
We need 20 million for Clark. Is he worth that much?
I hope so.
Ryan Dugan, Mayenda is 18. No need to sell him yet. Dougie Stewart, I still think the one me would be is Defoe and his own backroom staff. 50-50. A lot of fans saying Defoe hasn't got enough experience. But that would be too much of a gamble. That. What do you think, Jake? Do you think Defoe would be a good shout, or not enough experience for you?
I think he needs more experience, doesn't he? Because
he's got no experience. He's never managed anybody.
no, at least Will still has, to be honest. Yeah, he's not done it in England.
No, he's been a manager for 3 years. Will still.
Yeah, and I get some people are not happy, but everyone has a negative to say about a manager, don't they? It's like people were doing the same with Mowbray, weren't they? They were doing the same with
God, when he first come, a lot of fans didn't want him.
So it's just, it happens every time, doesn't it? Not just with Sunderland, but when every club gets a new manager, they'll have a bone to pick with them. They'll pick out some of the bad bits of them as well.
Veronica Wilson says, great show, lads. Thank you very much indeed. We do appreciate that. John Ruddock, there's only one manager to get, and that is Steve Cooper. Yeah, Davey, what do you keep saying about? I don't know if you want to answer John Ruddock there. What do you keep saying about Cooper?
Steve Cooper is still getting paid his wages off Nottingham Forest. 1.1 million a week. So he's not going to give that up to come to Sunderland for 15 grand a week, is he?
No. And West Ham, by the way, are getting a new manager as well, aren't they? The former Wolves manager.
He's left tonight, isn't he? David Moyes has left.
Yeah. So they're getting the old Wolves manager at West Ham.
They've had some desperate results, mind. I know they've won a trophy and all that, but they were really dire, some of their results, mind.
They deserve a better manager, don't the West Ham?
I've seen some supporters on the website, on the Sunderland pages tonight, saying we should go for Moyes. Well, there must be young lads who cannot remember when he was here last time.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
have a look.
We won't get
the Sunderland
Moyes.
Page.
Nah, we won't get Moyes.
I wouldn't want him.
Coming like with someone who said we've got a relegation fight on our hands, the first match of the season.
After about 3 games.
Yeah, the second game against Borough.
Aye. We're in a relegation battle. Fucking hell.
Well, that's...
No, I don't think Dreyfus is that stupid to get him.
No.
So Ryan Dugan still was shafted by the board, sold a lot of his best players and didn't replace them. Did an unreal job to keep them away from the bottom. Stephen Hensel, why do you think it went so bad in the second half of the season? Is it all down to Mowbray being sacked, then, do you think?
Partly, I think partly.
Well, it's down to Mowbray being sacked, but the main thing is they didn't have anybody in to replace him. They sacked them through an argument. It wasn't a football decision. Otherwise, they would have had a manager ready to go. And they scrimped and scraped around and ended up with Michael Bale.
Aye. SJ out of the frying pan and into the fire, then Ryan. Ryan Dugan says, I was more referring to his drop in form and league position, looking poor when in reality he's done a very good job. Yeah, Dunza says David Moyes leaves at the end of the season. Yeah, I mean, anybody that thinks like Moyes should come back to Sunderland, then surely they need to go and pick up the prescription, don't they?
From the history book, look how we done.
Well, speaking of Will Still, by the way, his main formation is a 4-3-3. That's Will Still's main. He has others as well. He's quite attacking and quite high up, so I don't think Sunderland have done 4-3-3 a lot, have they? Especially this season.
No, because we haven't got the middle one in the 3 in the front.
No, so I think might be something new for Sunderland, a 4-3-3.
No. We've been playing 4-6, that's it.
We had 4-2-3-1 under Mowbray, though, didn't we?
Aye.
So I think maybe Will Still actually is the right man, personally, but I could be wrong, but...
Michael Hood, Glorious Mackem's hello, mate. He says, apparently Piers Morgan has shown interest in us. Would you have Piers Morgan as the coach?
No. Not him, no.
The Bristolian Mackem, their kids and Mowbray was their granddad figure. We've have, yeah, they keep on saying that. Like, it just annoys me, the fact like KLD and them have just sat upstairs in the Ivory Towers. They've watched all this happen and collapse in front of them, and they've just like not given monkeys chuff about
Hid under the desk. Hid under the desk, Cabby.
Well, that's what it looks like, doesn't it?
Aye.
I don't know. So, what's the first thing do you think they need to rectify in the close season then?
Well, a new coach and some new players.
I think we need a definite 2 out-and-out strikers, don't we?
Yeah. And I just hope the new coach gets the leeway to do what he wants to do. Because that's a big problem. When you've got a guy upstairs telling you what you've got to do. That doesn't work with me, like.
No.
So it'd be good if the next person gets more freedom.
I don't know. So then I'm gonna. Here's a question for you. I'll test your thingies there. The first game of this season, Sunderland lost 2-1 away to Preston. Who was the goal scorer for Sunderland?
Was it Clark?
You saying Jack Clark? What are you saying, Jacob?
I think I'm going to go with Clark as well.
You're going to go with Clark.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're both right.
Yeah.
And when our famous win, when we beat Southampton 5-0, which player got a brace, got 2 goals?
Was it Ekwa?
Ekwa, you're hot off property since there, Ekwa.
He's done that since.
Done absolutely no since.
No.
And final one, when we beat Watford 2-0 way back on the 4th of October, who was Sunderland's first goal scorer?
Niall Huggins.
Huggins. What you saying, Jacob, do you remember?
I can't remember, but I might go with Huggins.
Yeah, you're both right.
Mate, goal of the season it was. Voted.
Yeah. And for a bonus point, who scored the second goal?
Ooh.
I'll chuck a packet of Watsits in for this for you.
Second goal. Huggins scored. Job.
Nope. Who do you say, Jacob? Who scored Sunderland's second goal?
Who was this against?
Sunderland against Watford this season at home.
Oh, was it Barr?
It was Barr. Leave us your address at full time, Jacob. I'll send you them crisps to you down the post.
Good shout, Jacob.
Yeah, just sold my car to Abdullah Barr. That could be a new song.
Aye, it's mad. Well, there's 3 minutes left of the show, and I tell you what, we've had some good viewers in to do. It's peaked about 50 odd. It's chuffed to bits. The show's gone quick, hasn't it, lads?
Flies our man.
Really, really, really quick.
Guns out quicker than the match.
Aye.
Without a doubt. I mean,
quicker than the squad on the pitch. No.
I mean, I'm going to carry on me show on a Monday night, even through the close season.
Yeah, we'll have plenty to talk about.
You guys are welcome to
Yeah.
join me as much as you want, and if you can't, it's not a problem. I'll still crack on.
Yeah.
Ken Walton, hello mate. He's just popped in. He's a member of my channel. Good evening, Cabby. Beautiful in Cornwall. Just got back from Seapool. Well, send some of the weather up here. Yeah, so I mean, just because it's the end of the season doesn't necessarily mean there's going to be no news. I mean, I refresh my phone like every so many minutes, just expecting to see Will still holding his scarf up, like, and all that. But you keep telling me.
Like I said the other day, the start of the season now.
Yeah, it is. It is. I'm sort of relieved.
If we don't get this bit right, we're knackered.
Absolutely. I'd love to be a fly on the wall in KLD's office right now. Or these next few days. Cabby Dunn says, Cabby, will you be doing any England content when the Euros is on? Absolutely. Of course, I'll be sort of I'll be doing some commentary. I'll have the 5 Live commentary on the England games and stuff. I used to go to the pub where it was heaving and stuff. There was a good atmosphere in there, but now I just can't be bothered with all that claptrap, getting soaked with drink and stuff. No chance at all. But no, cheers lads for joining us again. It's been a kind of short night. Sometimes like an hour doesn't seem long enough. There's always stuff going on in our football club. We've had loads of praise from the Sheffield Wednesday fans, mind, saying how good our fans are and that, and wish us the best and stuff.
Great stuff.
I like Sheffield Wednesday. I do like the fans and all. I mean, even when they were beating us 2-0.
Big club, man. It's a big club.
Yeah.
Big club.
Even on my chat, they weren't like full of themselves. They were just like, wishing us the best of luck and this and that. They're a nice bunch of fans. Dougie Stewart says, nice putting a face to Davey. Heard him many times on the phone in. You want to listen to these phone-ins, Jacob? I'll send you the link to BBC Sounds Radio Newcastle, and you listen to them all through the week, and it's really good listening to it, mate.
Yeah.
I just wish they'd have more people. They'd let more people phone in. Do you not, Davey?
I know. 20 to 7 hours on the night. 20 to 7.
20 to 7. Aye. Less of the less of the bollocks, and just have more chat. Do you know what I mean? Get more fans phoning in. There only seems to be about 7 fans phoning in out of a 2-hour show. They should get them packed in. Get loads phoning in.
Aye. I think he had 2 Sunderland callers on tonight in 2 hours.
2 hours. That's what I'm saying. It is a good show, though. I mean,
it is good crack.
Dunn's one final comment. Speakman should be gone. He's had enough chance as well. Time will tell. So I will say good night, and do you want to say ta-ra, Davey?
Good night. See you next week.
See you next week. And from the Yorkshire MACKEM, do you want to say a night, mate?
Yeah. Everyone take care and enjoy the rest of your evening and never lose faith. It was Sunderland until we die.